Leo Tolstoy. Russian author, a master of realistic fiction and one of the world's greatest novelists. Even in the valley of the shadow of death, 2 and 2 do not make 6. But the law of loving others could not be discovered by reason, because it is unreasonable. If we admit that human life can be ruled by reason, then all possibility of life is destroyed. I have learnt that all men live not by care for themselves, but by love. Joy can only be real if people look upon their life as a service, and have a definite object in life outside themselves and their personal happiness. It's much better to do good in a way that no one knows anything about it. People try to do all sorts of clever and difficult things to improve life, instead of doing the simplest, easiest thing, refusing to participate in activities that make life bad. Everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing himself. If you love me as you say you do, make it so that I am at peace. To love life is to love God. Harder and more blessed than all else is to love this life in one's sufferings, in undeserved sufferings. Seize the moments of happiness, love and be loved. That is the only reality in the world, all else is folly. There is no greatness where there is not simplicity, goodness, and truth. Let people judge me as they please, I can deceive them, but I cannot deceive myself. And he suddenly understood that the disgust which he had lately felt toward everybody was disgust with himself. There is only one enduring happiness in life: to live for others. Everything that I understand only because I love. He was afraid of defiling the love which filled his soul. Wrong does not cease to be wrong because the majority share in it. Free thinkers are those who are willing to use their minds without prejudice, and without fearing to understand things that clash with their own customs, privileges, or beliefs. This state of mind is not common, but it is essential for right thinking. If you want to be happy, be. Faith is the sense of life, that sense by virtue of which man does not destroy himself, but continues to live on. It is the force whereby we live. If you look for perfection, you'll never be content. And you know, there's less charm in life when you think about death, but it's more peaceful. The two most powerful warriors are patience and time. It's hard to love a woman and do anything. I think, if it is true that there are as many minds as there are heads, then there are as many kinds of love as there are hearts. Everything comes in time to him who knows how to wait. The chief difference between words and deeds is that words are always intended for men for their approbation, but deeds can be done only for God. Love. The reason I dislike that word is that it means too much for me, far more than you can understand. The law condemns and punishes only actions within certain definite and narrow limits. It thereby justifies, in a way, all similar actions that lie outside those limits. If you make it a habit not to blame others, you will feel the growth of the ability to love in your soul, and you will see the growth of goodness in your life. When you love someone, you love the person as they are, and not as you'd like them to be. I often think that men don't understand what is noble and what is ignorant, though they always talk about it. It is amazing how complete is the delusion that beauty is goodness. All happy families resemble one another, each unhappy family is unhappy in its own way. An arrogant person considers himself perfect. This is the chief harm of arrogance. It interferes with a person's main task in life, becoming a better person. There are no conditions to which a person cannot grow accustomed, especially if he sees that everyone around him lives in the same way. All the variety, all the charm, all the beauty of life is made up of light and shadow. If everyone fought for their own convictions, there would be no war. The changes in our life must come from the impossibility to live otherwise than according to the demands of our conscience, not from our mental resolution to try a new form of life. They've got no idea what happiness is. They don't know that without this love there is no happiness, or unhappiness for us there is no life. Have a goal in life. A goal for a certain time, for a year, for a month, for a week, for a day, or for an hour, and for a minute, sacrificing lower goals to highest. Spring is the time of plans and projects. Society in itself is no great harm, but unsatisfied social aspirations are a bad and ugly business. We must certainly accept, and we will. Rest, nature, books, music, love for one's neighbor, such is my idea of happiness. Respect was invented to cover the empty place where love should be. Is it really possible to tell someone else what one feels? Rummaging in our souls, we often dig up something that ought to have lain there unnoticed. Our body is a machine for living. It is organized for that, it is its nature. Let life go on in it unhindered, and let it defend itself. In the name of God, stop a moment, cease your work, look around you. If a man aspires towards a righteous life, his first act of abstinence is from injury to animals. Only people who are capable of loving strongly can also suffer great sorrow, but this same necessity of loving serves to counteract their grief and heals them.